After. Coming up next here, a confrontation between the state of Texas and Texas landowners over plans for that NAFTA superhighway. Bill Tucker has our report. Bill?
Well, Lou, the state can take their road and shove it as far as the landowners are concerned, but the state may prevail. I'll have the story coming up, Lou.
And it's quite a story. Don't mess with Texas, still in effect.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Bill. In Texas tonight, rising outrage over the so-called Trans-Texas Corridor, also known as the NAFTA Superhighway. You know, that thing that Washington doesn't really want to admit is happening in this country. At town hall meetings across the state of Texas, Texans voicing angry opposition to that proposed highway, a highway intended to cut from Mexico through Texas all the way to Canada. But as Bill Tucker now reports, the state does not require the support of the people to go ahead with the project.
It's a Texas-sized proposal, the Trans-Texas Corridor, I-69, a combination of rail lines, utility lines, car and truck lanes, which will be the width of 3 football fields laid end to end, 3 times wider than a typical interstate. It will run from Laredo to Texarkana, but the project is attracting some Texas-sized opposition at town meetings throughout the state.
This is a terrible idea and a terrible attack on property rights. It amounts to a 4,000-mile laceration of concrete and steel inflicted upon the good people of Texas.
And many say it's all for the good of multinational corporations.
The plan is to ship cheap goods produced by undermarket labor in China and the Far East into North America via Mexican ports.
Roughly $150 billion worth of imports from Mexico came into the U.S. via Texas roadways in 2006, according to the Texas Department of Transportation, which is why they say the corridor is needed. But at what cost?
Why do we need this corridor? Well, somebody's going to get rich, and it's not going to be anybody in this room here.
The I-69 corridor will cut through rural farmland, land that in many cases has been in the family for generations. The state vows to use eminent domain to take that land. Those farmers and ranchers vow in return they will fight the state, including this promise from a Marine serving in Iraq. His letter was read for him.
If not, you can count on me to fight you at every meeting, and there is nothing stronger than a United States Marine fighting for his home.
There are 12 more town meetings planned between now and March 3rd. And like it or not, Texans could just have to live with that corridor. Lou, those opposed, so they're not against building better roads or expanding roads and making them bigger, but they're not about to back down from the state in face of the opposition against this Trans-Texas Corridor project.
Well, wait a minute. Are you saying that they're for it or are they against it? You're talking about 3 football. I mean, what in the world are we saying here?
That thing is going to be 3 football fields wide. They're dead set against it.
But you make it sound like that they're not going to win.
Well, the state says they don't need voter approval, Lou, and they say they will go in.
They don't need voter approval?
The state's contention is they do not need voter approval.
So they're telling the citizens of
approved.
Texas to go to hell? That isn't a real smart recipe in the state of Texas that I remember.
I wouldn't think so either. Not in the Texas I remember either.
Well, this is going to be interesting to watch because it's now coming out. Do you know that there were state officials, state elected officials, there were various news organizations in Texas, up until very recently, denying that there was any plan for a North American Union, denying that there was a NAFTA superhighway in the plans. I mean, this thing is opening up, and it should be opening up the eyes of the people of the state of Texas to what in the world you're being handed. And I've got to tell you, it smells to high heaven. Thank you very much, Bill Tucker. Thousands of you, not just from the state of Texas, are sending us your thoughts about this NAFTA superhighway. Richard in Minnesota said, build a Trans-America super corporate highway? Of course, why not use taxpayer money to build that superhighway to import even more cheap foreign imports to displace American-made products, import more illegal workers and illegal drugs? It's just government business as usual. And this is an exact statement. The reality is that what is happening in the state of Texas is designed to bring in Chinese imports sent to ports in Mexico rather than California because those ports are over capacity right now. It is absolutely a transformational moment. And the people of this country, not only the people of the state of Texas, are going to have to decide what is going to happen with this nation. Michael in Texas said, don't mess with Texas. Seems to me that if the elected officials in Texas want the I-69 and the people don't, then maybe we should let them find other jobs. I don't know if a recall is allowed here or not, but maybe we, the people, should find out. We'll have more of your thoughts here later, guaranteed. And Todd in Florida, Lou, I, for one, am fed up with NAFTA, CAFTA, and all the other TUS. It's time to scrap them all and start from scratch. How about with American workers as a primary focus this time? Keep fighting, Lou. Seems America might actually be listening. I think you're right. At least, I hope you're right.